What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Before I get into the video, a couple things I want to say. If you're looking at this video and haven't subscribed to Too Raw for TV, please subscribe to Too Raw for TV. If you haven't hit that notification bell, please hit the notification bell so you can be notified of a video as soon as it drops on this channel. And also, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button, especially if you like or at least appreciate the content on this channel. Okay. YouTube has certain things now, certain features in the algorithm to suppress smaller channels, and this will help not only my channel but other channels in the LDBC and make us that much stronger. I also want to give a shout out to Elijah Merritt for his donation to the channel. Elijah Merritt is probably the biggest supporter of this channel, man. I really appreciate Elijah Merritt, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else that has donated to my channel over the past several months, man. Thank you all. And also, I'd like to thank everybody that has subscribed to my Patreon. And if you subscribe to the Patreon for only $2 per month, I'm able to talk about stuff on Patreon that I cannot talk about on YouTube for obvious reasons. Social issues, sports, you name it. For only $2 per month. Now that I got all that out the way, there's something I want to talk about that, is bothering me. Since I made those videos yesterday, and that's people saying things like, I need to give Curry a break. I need to wait a while. I'm jumping to conclusions and all this type stuff. I need to stop being so hard on Steve Kerr. Let me say this. You all know that 80% of you guys, if this was LeBron James and he was on a team that got blown out by 20 in the first game and got blown out by 40 in the second game, you guys know you would be all over LeBron James, okay? You would be all over LeBron James. And LeBron James has a greater legacy and greater resume than Steph Curry. Y'all like to bring up Curry's 2 MVPs, well, LeBron has 4. Like to bring up Curry's 3 NBA championships, LeBron has 3 NBA championships. LeBron's been to 9 NBA finals, 8 consecutive NBA finals. Okay, I don't care about the 3-6 record. Okay, that's okay. He does have a losing record. Jerry West has a 1-8 record in the NBA finals. Elgin Baylor never won an NBA championship, and he went to numerous NBA finals. Magic Johnson, he's lost 4. He lost 4 NBA finals. Bird lost, I think, 2. Okay, so I mean, you got to kind of put things into context. And it's not that the Warriors lost the first 2 games. That's not it. People, bringing up the Bulls and, how they were 0-3 to start the 90-91 season. Would have been 0-4 if Jordan hit that turnaround jumper against Utah. I remember that game. I know it was a long time ago, November 91. That was the last time when Michael Jordan played as a Chicago Bull that the Bulls lost 3 games in a row. Okay, I get that. But it wasn't like the Bulls were losing by 40 and 50 points. And the Bulls also, prior to that season, had never won a championship. So the expectations were a little bit different. Okay, a little bit different for the Bulls. Yeah, they were expected to be a contender, but they weren't defending champions, part of a near dynasty. Curry, at that time, Michael Jordan had a reputation for being a great player, but now on the level of Magic and Larry, because the narrative then was that a scoring champion couldn't win a title. Jordan was too selfish. All he cared about was his stats and all this type of stuff. So the narrative was totally different back then compared to the narrative of a couple years later for Jordan. All right, like I said, it's not that the Warriors are 0-2. That's not the problem. The problem is the effort. The problem is the way they are playing. The problem is the way Steve Kerr is coaching. The problem is the way that Steph Curry is playing and his mannerisms. Those are the things that bother me. I've been saying for a while now that I think that Steph Curry is an overglorified Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He's better than Abdul-Rauf, but he's not that much better than Abdul-Rauf. Okay? And just because you're a great shooter doesn't mean that you're the best player at your position or the best player in the game. Okay? There was a time in the mid 1990s, I would say that the best shooter in the game, the best two shooters in the game were Drazen Petrovic and probably overall was Mark Price. But nobody would call those two guys the best player in the game. And Mark Price doesn't really show up on anybody's all-time great point guards list, at least not top 5, top 10. What I've always stated is that there's been an overemphasis in shooting with NBA fans over the past 10 to 15 years. Shooting is important, okay? But at the point guard position, the point guard has always been historically the leader of those teams. The center position historically has been the most important until really the 90s. Then it started waning a little bit and it became more perimeter guys. But the point guard has always been historically the leader of teams, going all the way back to Slater Martin, talking about the 1950s, Bob Cousy, Guy Rogers, Lenny Wilkins, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, if you consider him a point guard, but most people consider him a shooting guard. Calvin Murphy. The list goes on and on. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson. The list goes on and on. Kevin Porter. Fat Lever. All these point guards, have always been a leader or the leader of their teams. Right now, Steph Curry needs to be the leader of this team. I'm not saying they need to match what they've done the last couple of years. He doesn't have the same talent on his team, okay, that he's had in the past. I get that. I'm not looking for the Warriors to be first or second seed, but give your best effort. Play like a so-called top 30, 20, 10, whatever you. Some of you guys have called him the second greatest point guard behind Magic Johnson. Did I not hear that from people? Was that not something that was in the media a couple of years ago? Then goddamn it, if that's what's part of the narrative, if that's what people are going to say, you don't get a pass. It pissed me off yesterday looking at that game and seeing these commentators talking like they're not looking at the goddamn game. They're sitting there praising, players from the Pelicans like Drew Holiday, not Pelicans, the Hornets, excuse me, praising players from the Hornets, and they're sitting up there losing. No, not Hornets, not Hornets. Who were they playing yesterday? Some scrub at the Thunder. Playing the Thunder, okay, and they're praising various players from the Thunder, and it's not like the Thunder is a squad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they're okay. They might potentially be an 8th seed, maybe 9th seed, maybe just might miss the playoffs. But the way that the Warriors played at times down by over 40 points at home, that's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. I'm going to tell you something right now. If this was Kobe Bryant, if this was Michael Jordan, I guarantee you, lockers would have been, it would have been a ruckus in the locker room. It would have been, somebody would have somebody would have got fired. I'm telling you right now, somebody would have got fired. And I think it would have been Steve Kerr. The last couple of years, Steve Kerr didn't really have to coach. See what happened when Luke Walton actually had to coach the Lakers. You saw the terrible rotations he had, the terrible schemes, the terrible late game decisions he made. But he got a pass. Steve Kerr, people want to give him a pass. No, I'm not going to give him a pass. He has the highest win percentage in NBA history. People like to keep parroting that, even though that really doesn't really say much because he's just been fortunate to be on one of the great teams of all times. This year, Steve Kerr has to actually coach. He has to actually game plan. He has to actually deal with individuals where winning was covering shit up. So yes, he deserves criticism. Steph Curry deserves criticism for his approach. You don't laugh and smile and joke around when you're losing like that at home. These guys got to have pride, man. Because then if that's the case, I'm going to have to start questioning some of these dudes, man. There's tiers and levels to this shit. I'm trying to find reasons. People keep telling me when I did my top 50 why I don't have Curry higher. I got Curry like at 37. I think I pushed him. I think I'm gonna push him a little bit, like at 30 or something. But right now, I'm watching this season. If I see an unaggressive Curry, if I see a guy that can't win some games for his team on certain nights, if I see a passive dude, if I see a guy that can easily get shut down, all of the suspicions I've had about him, that he's a glorified Abdul Rauf, because I even seen Abdul Rauf carry his team sometimes. Abdul Rauf beat the Chicago Bulls by himself one game. 40 points, like 30 in the first half, or 26, something like that. I'm starting to look, Abdul Rauf right now, shit, he had more heart than Curry. He had to deal with that goddamn, that tick he had. Man, people don't understand, man. It's not just skills, man. It has a lot to do with your approach to the game and your mental makeup. That's like half of it right there, man. You can have all the skills in the world, but if you don't have the right approach to the game, you're not. Mm-mm. It's on Curry right now. I'm sorry. That's what happens when people want all the praise. You got to deal with the responsibility. You got to deal with the bad. Okay? Y'all want me to be like that with LeBron James? I have been. But I'm going to be like that with every fucking body. Not just one guy that you don't fucking like. Phil Jackson won Coach of the Year in 96. He probably should have won it in 94. And I think 96 was a makeup for 94. I think they gave it to Larry Brown for the Clippers job in 94, the job he did with the Clippers taking to the playoffs. But Phil Jackson had a good argument for winning Coach of the Year that year. I remember when Michael Jordan retired, the Bulls was losing 32 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, over 2 steals. The team leader, the floor leader. You're losing a lockdown defender. They lost a lot. So what are some of the things that Phil Jackson did? One of the things that the Bulls did, they shored up their bench because the year before, Jordan Pippen kind of carried that team in the playoffs in the regular season, the playoffs, that three-peat. They shored up the bench. They got guys like Steve Kerr. They got guys like I can't remember if they got Ron Harper that year or not. I think they got Ron Harper the next year, but they got Pete Myers, who was a good defensive guard. Okay, B.J. Armstrong stepped up. All right, some of the guys that were part of the mid 1990s teams, the late 90s teams, the championship Bulls came. Luke Longley and Judd Bushler and all those guys were coming, right? And they slowed the pace down a little bit. They know they wasn't as offensively sound as they were before, so they slowed the pace down a little bit with that team, okay? And they tried to win games with their defense, and that worked. It worked. They won 55 games, and they possibly would have won the East if Scottie Pippen ain't missed the first 10 games of the season. That was an awesome coaching display that Phil Jackson put on that year, winning 55 games. I remember going into that season, some people thought the Bulls wouldn't win 30 games. Scottie Pippen stepped up, the guy that everybody wants to call the ultimate second banana. but Scottie Pippen stepped up, and for 2 years, Scottie Pippen was the best all-around player in the NBA. All I'm asking is a guy that some people say is the best player in the NBA, Steph Curry, to step the fuck up and man up. That's all I'm saying, goddammit. Tell me what you motherfuckers think.